The email comes through on a Thursday afternoon. Compensation adjustments and bonus figures will be available Friday morning. And in an instant, the money is already gone. Before it even hits your bank account, the vacation is mentally booked, or that truck upgrade starts to make a lot more sense. Perhaps it's when April rolls around and you find out what your tax refund is going to be. Maybe it's an unexpected inheritance or a commission check. Sometimes it comes in the form of a stock payout or a lawsuit settlement. Whatever the source, something strange happens when money arrives outside our normal monthly income. We treat it differently. Psychologists call it mental accounting. People tend to handle sudden windfalls less carefully than the money they worked for week after week. And because of that, some of the greatest financial opportunities people ever receive quietly disappear in a matter of months. If you don't decide ahead of time what the money is for, the money usually decides for you. Today we're going to talk about how to wisely handle sudden financial increases, because when done right, windfalls can accelerate your entire financial life. Handled poorly, they become expensive stories. Welcome to Plan to Prosper. We exist to honor God by helping faithful servants steward their finances wisely and build wealth that endures for generations. Logan, here we are.
Here we are. We've got an older and wiser Dalton this week.
True. Yes. It's my birthday, so I turned older.
Older.
Yeah.
Still younger than me.
Yeah, I won't ever catch up to you.
It's true.
Yeah. But we're here to talk about what to do with windfalls. That is money that comes in that you weren't expecting, or money that maybe you were expecting it, but it just falls outside of your normal monthly cash flow.
Yeah. It can. It definitely can be different psychologically, as you had just mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it can change the trajectory of your entire financial life if you use it wisely, or it can also change it for the negative if you use it poorly. Because I think naturally people don't account for this because they're just used to their monthly cash flow, and then all of a sudden a lot more money comes in, and boy, you feel rich. Mm-hmm. Reminds me of the Michael Scott quote when he's like, you walk into a Burlington coat factory with $600 in cash, they treat you like a king. You can kind of treat your whole life that way when you come up an unexpected amount of money where you just walk around and you're just like, I'm like a king here. I have infinite resources.
Yeah. I'm going to use an example, but I actually don't think it was a negative, but kind of gets a little bit behind the psychology. My mother-in-law she worked at like a church for a normal salary, and then she would bartend weddings on the weekend.
Fun.
And she would also always call like her cash tips her fun money. She could just like do whatever she wanted with it. I don't think it's the worst mindset, but it was funny that it was like different psychologically for her to make that money versus her normal paycheck.
Yeah. I think in that situation though, it's still somewhat, I don't know how regularly she did the bartending, but it sounded, perhaps it was regular enough that it was just like, yeah, I do this on the side so that I can have some extra money to do what I want with.
Yeah.
I think today what we want to talk about more, again, I don't even think it has to be unexpected. Like you could have a bonus that you signed a contract that said in 2 years I'm going to get this retention bonus or something that's going to be for X amount of money. You could know that that's coming, and for two whole, like depending on how far away it is, be spending that money well before it even gets there because you know it's coming. So I think either way, whether it's expected or unexpected, if you have a large amount of money that's outside of your normal cash flow, you need to be prepared for that and think wisely through what to do with it before you spend it all.
Yeah, already buy the new house in your mind.
Right. So what are some of the things that a bonus can actually reveal about your heart and your money? What can a bonus reveal about, or again, it doesn't have to be a bonus, but just let's use that as the example. What can this kind of a thing reveal about where you are, where your heart's at financially?
Yeah, I mean, as I just said, you could buy a house, you could put in a new kitchen. It's just going to reveal kind of what you're prioritizing at the moment. It's going to reveal how disciplined you are with money. It'll reveal how well you've done a financial plan, or just how well you've planned for that money, and what to, anything you end up doing with it, and just kind of your overall relationship with money.
Yeah, I think psychologically, it's just it's treated much differently than your normal income. You know, with your normal income, you use that to pay the bills. That's the money that you need to survive. Sure, you'll save some of that, hopefully, so that you can continue to make progress throughout your normal month-to-month living. But when a bonus comes in, suddenly it feels like free money that you didn't. I don't need to use this to pay my mortgage. I don't need to use this to pay for the doctor or to pay for, like, I already did that. This is, it's like I have carte blanche to do whatever I want with it.
Do you remember anything that you like spend a decent amount on because you got a bonus? Like anything you rewarded yourself with?
Yeah, and we'll talk about, because I don't think the answer is save every single penny of this.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're going to get to that. I actually think spending some of it is not only like, yeah, you could do that. I actually think I'll say you should do that with a bonus. You
spend some of it.
You should spend some of it.
Yeah, enjoy it.
I'm gonna say that right from the get-go. And so yeah, going out for a nice dinner with the family when a bonus comes in, I will do that most of the time.
Back in 2016, I went out and bought an Xbox.
Okay. I would have done that too in probably my single years. I was never a big gamer, so that was never a huge temptation for me, but I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can remember, like, spending a decent amount on because a bonus came in.
Yeah.
I feel like I bought it in 2016, started having kids in 2017, so I haven't really even used it. I think my kids use it more than I do now.
I think one year when I had a tax return, again, I was very single at the time, and I had nothing else that I needed to spend money on. I was also not very wise with my money, but it was kind of whatever at the time. A decent tax return came in, and I bought a tattoo with it because I was into that kind of thing at the time.
Which one?
I don't remember. It was one of the ones on my arm, one of these, I don't know. I don't remember which one it was, but I think I maybe bought a guitar with one once. I was into that back, but yeah, those days are far behind. Like I would never do that again. Life is the decisions I make financially are much different these days than they were back in the day.
We might have bought the Blackstone grill right around the time of a bonus.
Okay,
that was cheaper than the Xbox.
Yeah. So we want to just discuss again. We're not gonna. Like in a lot of the episodes we've been talking about recently, we're not going to pigeonhole you into you have to do X, Y, and Z. There's none of this is hard and fast rules. We would be happy to give you our best advice for you personally. If you have something coming and you're like, what should I do with all this? We'd be happy to give you our personal advice here. But everything we say, as on every episode, is very generic here. And this is just general guidance that we think should approximately be allocated for a bonus. So I think the first thing that we wanted to mention is that people tend to treat these differently, understandably. And I think it's almost impossible to not treat it differently.
It's definitely something that is not, that is for good reason in your head outside of the budget.
Yeah. So first thing we want to do is what not to do with it. What should you not do with a sudden windfall when it comes in?
Spend it all?
Spend it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do that. If you have a $5,000 bonus coming in, we better not see $5,000 on the expense spreadsheet that you suddenly just spent it on X, Y, and Z. Unless I could see a situation where this big, like you've a desperate need that you've needed for a while, you just couldn't afford it, and suddenly the Lord blessed you with this bonus that covered the exact expense. Okay. I wouldn't beat you over the head if you made that decision. If it was like, I don't know, my kids needed braces. And
what if 5 years ago, met with a financial advisor and said, in 5 years, I want a kitchen, a new kitchen.
Yeah.
I want to redo my whole kitchen. And then in 5 years, you get a bonus. Can you use that bonus?
No, because if you said that 5 years ago, then what should you have been doing for these past 5 years? Saving for that dang kitchen. What are you doing? Just waiting for the bonus to come in to pay for it. That's no good.
All right.
Yeah. If you had that much foresight to want that 5 years ago, well, then you've been saving diligently month after month so that by the end of 5 years, you had that $5,000 ready. And then the bonus comes in and you go, sweet, I can save that money and replenish that savings account.
What if it was a $50,000 kitchen and you had saved $45,000, and then you get a $5,000 bonus.
Sure, go for it. If that's what it is, if you're spending $50,000 on a kitchen, you probably have the means to throw in a $5,000. But like,
well, that's pretty normal for kitchens these days.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like, you're probably in a financial place. If that's what you're using $50,000 on, you're probably not paycheck to paycheck scraping
True.
by. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that bonus probably didn't make a huge difference in your life, anyways.
True.
But in general, we would say do not spend all of this.
Yeah.
I think either the temptation is natural. Like, now's my chance to live a little.
Mm-hmm. Don't spend it all on like luxury vacation.
Right. Yeah. What other vehicles? You could buy a really nice car if you get a really nice bonus.
Go to the mall if people still do that these days.
True. I love going to the mall.
What mall do you go to? The one
King of Prussia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's not like my favorite thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the big key is it's similar to the episode we did a couple weeks ago talking about like delayed gratification versus instant gratification. I think bonuses are an opportunity to exercise the delayed gratification because it's tempting to just, I suddenly have this much money, I'm going to spend it right now. Like, you could just make an emotional decision quickly when you suddenly have a large amount of money that you weren't expecting. That is not the case. In your kitchen example, they've been thinking about it for 5 years. The means finally came in. Okay, you've wanted this for a long time. You've been thinking about this. If you spend it all on that, I guess that's okay. This is something you've been thinking about for a long, long time. But if you just suddenly get that bonus and you go, you know what? This kitchen would look a lot nicer if we put all that money into this.
What's called the luxury guy?
That's not a great move.
Right. Yeah.
What else should we not do with a windfall? So don't spend most of it or all of it.
Yeah, on things like vacations and vehicles and just Amazon.
Yeah. Okay. I would say this is along the same lines, but like, don't think about it even before it hits your account. Like, I think people can tend to, like, there's an entire movie about this that is a popular movie to watch around the holiday season, and that is Christmas Vacation.
Such a good movie.
Great movie. Clark Griswold is super guilty of this one. He has spent his bonus, on one very specific thing. He's installing a pool. He's already put a down payment on it. And there is, not only is it like not in writing that he's going to get this bonus, he's just assuming it that because he got one last year, he had a good year. He's expecting a similar, if not better, bonus that's going to cover the entirety of the pool. And that bonus does not come through.
It's like the weekly.
He gets the jelly of the month. Or whatever.
Yeah, jelly of the month.
So that's the entire chaos of that movie. Could have been avoided if Clark Griswold did not find himself guilty of counting all of this bonus money before it ever even comes in, or he even knows it's coming.
Yeah. If he planned better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got a nice house and stuff. So he's probably making decent money.
Also, I think they live in like the Chicago area, is my impression, or it's just somewhere that's like very cold. The idea of installing an in-ground pool in an area like that is strange to me. You would get
a couple months maybe.
Yeah. Seems like a very expensive thing to enjoy for just a month or two.
Unless you
heat it.
Yeah, make it, but that better be a nice bonus.
Yeah, for sure.
And nice ongoing pay.
Yep. I think just we're always erring on the side of being conservative in all of our plans, and I think the same thing should happen with your bonuses. Let's assume that half of what you expect comes in, and let's make a plan for it to save a good amount of it. Sure, spend some of it, give some of it, but let's not spend all of it and spend it before we even know what's coming.
Right. Don't consistently rack up the credit card debt, and then once the bonus hits, then it's the time when you can pay it off.
Right. So we see this with clients too sometimes, where they have a pretty hefty budget, and sometimes it's just the nature of the season they're in with kids in college and things like that, and they expect their bonuses to sort of help cover their overspending in the prior months. You know, sometimes you can get away with that for a little bit, but we would certainly not encourage that you're racking up some high interest debt that's going to get paid by a bonus, because you're spending just way more money than you need to be at that point in interest alone. So don't live your life so expensively that your normal cash flow can't cover it.
Right.
And expect your bonuses to help you catch up.
Yeah.
Because then your bonus isn't helping you in any way other than just paying off the debt that you've been accumulating, and you're not saving any of it. You're just paying off the debts.
And you're obviously living above your means.
Yeah. Right. And so I think it's just, bonuses are a part of your compensation, but I think they should be treated as if they're not.
Right.
And let's treat your normal monthly compensation. That's the most you're going to make. Well, a bonus came in. Sweet. Now I have, extra money to save or whatever.
And we've been living in decent times in terms of the economy and everything. If that turns around, I'm sure bonuses are going to go away.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Again, we've touched on this, but let's not make these emotional decisions quickly. Let's give it some time. You get some unexpected money. Let's not spend it the first day. Let's think about it. Think about wisely how to use it. That's probably the worst time to make a decision, is when you have the emotional high of suddenly coming into a lot of money. So give it some time. Pray about it. Talk about it with your spouse, if applicable, and plan for it. Any other what not to do's with your windfall? Any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
What to do with your windfall? What should we do here?
We can do a lot of things. We can do things like making sure that all of our kind of the variety of accounts that we've set up are funded appropriately. So emergency funds, retirement accounts, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have a fully funded emergency fund? If not, your bonus can help you get there.
Yep.
Did you max out your Roth IRA for the year yet? If not, the bonus can help you do that. If you've done both of those things, well, let's throw some more in a taxable account. Let's make sure the HSA is maxed out. Let's make sure.
Dalton's favorite account.
Yes. Get those HSAs maxed out, everybody. Do it.
Whatever you say.
If you do have debt, bonuses can help pay that off, depending on the interest rate and everything. We would give you our best recommendation for how much to prioritize there. We probably wouldn't suggest trying to pay off your mortgage or anything like that. Maybe.
Depending on the rate.
Yeah, it all depends. You could throw it into 529s for your kids if you want to help pay for college. There's lots of ways to accelerate your savings.
Yeah. A lot of, basically save it and do it creatively.
Yeah. I think a question to ask yourself is, what future stress could disappear if I use this money wisely?
College is a good example.
Yeah.
I won't have to try to scrape up tuition funds in 10 years if I save this money well.
Yep. Yeah. Windfalls can strengthen your future instead of inflating your present. They will help you to fortify the future needs that you have, as opposed to just allowing you to enjoy today more. Again, we think we can do both with your windfall. You can enjoy today and also save for your future. We're flexible in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's along the same line. It can just help you catch up on some of your goals. Let's say you have this monthly goal, you want to save X amount of money, but money can get tight and you have different needs that come up in your
a car
bill, right?
Yeah.
And so you didn't save as much last month because you had to pay for your car inspection that had a bigger bill. You had to pay for the kids to go.
Always happens.
Yeah, my kids go to the emergency room at least once a year. We have to pay for that.
Yours do?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I've only had 2 visits.
We found Elsie with a bottle of pills once, an empty bottle of pills. Turns out she didn't eat any of them, but we had to make sure of it. Things like that.
Yeah. It's no fun.
No. So it can help you to catch back up on some missed savings that you maybe weren't able to do.
That's why you love the HSA. You guys are using it.
I know. We definitely are. We're actually not great with our HSA because we spend too much out of it, but whatever. I think giving is something that you should do with your windfall.
Yeah.
So go outside of your normal giving that you would, if you're a giver.
Probably first.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's allocate some of this bonus to giving.
Yeah.
For sure. It just reminds us the reason we're generous in the first place. It's just amplifying the same thing where we're not attaching ourselves to this money. That's just, we cling to it because this is ours, and I'm going to either save every single penny of it or I'm going to spend every penny of it for my own enjoyment or for my own future. Let's just give some of that away.
Yeah.
Let go of it. Not all of it, but certainly some of it.
Prove to yourself that you're less attached than you are.
Yeah. So let's just whatever hits your account, like think 10% of that as a good benchmark for maybe we should give 10% of this away.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah. And if you don't know where to give, I've done that before, then just throw it in your donor advised fund.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will get to donor advised funds in a second with some other potential strategies with that. But yes, giving reminds that this money is a gift. It's not the thing that's going to save my life. It's just, if you give it, you're kind of acknowledging to the Lord that this money was his and he just blessed you with some of it, and I want to give some in return.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finally, one other thing to do with your bonus is to celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
So
the fun stuff.
You're allowed to enjoy it. That is okay. You don't have to save every penny of it. We think you should give some of it. We think you should save a good amount of it, but you should spend some of it.
Yeah, yeah. Enjoy it. You deserved it.
Yeah. It's a good opportunity to show your family, if you have a wife and kids or a spouse and kids, that you are that the Lord has blessed you. Mm-hmm. And one of the things he wants to bless you with is just in enjoyment. He's not promising you just a full, Jesus didn't die to make you happy, though joy is a result of our salvation for sure. In the presence of the Lord is fullness of joy. But the life he gives us too, he gives us so many great things to enjoy. He made this world beautiful. He made this world full of different pleasures, from good food and drink and all these things that we can certainly enjoy to his glory. And we think you should do some of that when the bonus comes in.
Yeah. Have you, I think it's somewhere in here. You haven't done percentages or anything, have you?
No, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Go out to dinner with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a family experience. Maybe it's a vacation, just not depending on what the bonus is, obviously.
Depends on the amount.
Don't spend all of it on that, but you could, if it's a big bonus and you can go out on a little vacation, do it. The issue that, we're not saying that the issue is just you're enjoying some of it. Like, don't do that. No, of course not. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
But maybe don't spend all of it on enjoyment.
Right. Unless you had that planned. Unless it was deliberately planned.
Yeah.
Way in advance.
Yeah.
Because some people do just have like a known bonus.
For sure. Yeah. But I think even in those situations, even maybe all the more, like you can plan so much more ahead of time. And maybe it is ultimately like, we have this bonus coming. We know we're going to need a car around that time.
Yeah.
We're probably going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So be it. But if you know it's coming, it gives you all the more time to prep for it and just go, before it ever even hits my account, like I just know I'm not going to get too emotionally attached to this where like I've already spent it. Let's save 80% of it, blah, blah. Like you have an opportunity, unless there's a great need that it could fund, to be wise and save a good amount of, like, I don't know. I'm
going to go out and buy that Aston Martin.
Oh, okay. Well, enjoy it. We do want to hit on some tax strategies, because there are things with a large windfall that will affect your tax status.
Mm-hmm.
That could have...
This is the less fun stuff.
Not for you.
I don't like taxes.
No, but you like strategies.
Yeah.
You like optimization.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. First thing you could do is what?
Well, I would say first, make sure that you're paying enough.
Okay.
Because if you there's a IRS safe harbor where if you you won't be penalized for underpayment as long as you hit 110% of the previous year. But if you get like big bonuses, and I think the typical withholding rate for a bonus is 22% for taxes. But if you're like a really high earner, and maybe you've fallen into the 32% realm, and you're making a lot more than last year, you need to make sure that you are paying enough in taxes.
Okay. Makes sense. You can just make sure you're maximizing pre-tax accounts. So like maximize your 401k.
401k, yeah. Go back and listen to the episode where you talked about the super mega, whatever you call it.
Yeah, the mega backdoor Roth.
Yeah, mega backdoor Roth.
Yep. HSA.
Yeah.
It's pre-tax.
Yep.
Deferred comp. There's just just maximize as best you can, reducing your taxable income for the year that you're going to increase it a good amount. What else could you do?
You can put either some cash or funds into a donor advised fund.
Mm-hmm. We had this situation with a client who owned a good amount of company stock.
Yeah.
So if you have any kind of equity plan or anything at your company where you are able to actually own some of your own company's stock, and let's just say your company gets acquired, and that is all going to basically be realized, all those and come to you in the form of that compensation. You can. So let's say I'll just give an example. You work for a private company. You own some stock. It's worth about $1 million now. Mm-hmm. But your basis is like $500,000. So you're on the hook for a $500,000 capital gain.
Yeah.
$500,000 in capital gains that you would pay taxes on. If the company's bought and you're about to get that $1 million, but you're on the hook for that $500,000 in capital gains, you could give, before the company's sold, give stock directly to your donor advised fund. So that the donor advised fund doesn't inherit that basis. They can sell the stock and invest it and not have to pay capital gains on that.
Do you know, like, if you are a business owner and if it's a private company and you own the company, you would have to do that. You have to do that before any contract is signed or anything. I think even prior to like stating intent to sell. Do you know if you have to do that with public company stock?
I don't know.
Like, all right, so consult a tax person.
Yeah.
As you're doing this. Yeah, I know that with private company stock, there's a very specific basically, like, if you don't donate the privately held shares prior to some form of action with the sale of the company, then it just doesn't qualify anymore.
Got it. Makes sense. Okay, back to the strategy. Just for the sake of just the example, in this particular case, you would gift the shares before the sale of the company, before those gains are realized, so that you could avoid the capital gains, at least on that portion of it. And then depending on how much you're giving, like if you're using the standard deduction when it comes to your taxes, or if you're going to be deducting, you could add that whatever you're giving in shares to the donor advised fund. You could deduct that from your taxes, and then also avoiding those capital gains. And then you would have this donor advised fund that's more fully funded to give out of in future years. Depending on how much you're giving and how much you give normally, you could be freeing up cash flow for yourself moving forward because you're now giving out of the donor advised fund instead of your normal cash flow.
Yeah.
Or you just give more, and you could just still be giving out of your normal cash flow, but also now be giving out of a donor advised fund and just accelerate your giving. So it's a decent strategy if it works for you. Again, we're just giving very general blanket advice here, so make sure you're in the right situation to do it. But it's a potentially good strategy.
Yeah, and a potential way to better optimize your tax situation at the end of the year.
Yeah. Anything else on, let's see, tax strategies when it comes to getting a bonus? I think like back to the 401k thing. Let's say you've been contributing to Roth on your 401k. You might want to switch to traditional if you get a big bonus for that, to try to finish maximizing in the pre-tax realm to reduce your income a little bit.
Yeah.
Potentially. You just might want to consider Roth versus traditional strategies in high income years.
Yeah, definitely a consideration. It's also the tax piece is also why you definitely don't want to spend all of it.
Yeah, right. For sure. Yeah, because you suddenly tax day will come due and you'll be like, uh-oh.
That wasn't all mine?
Yikes. I think there's a tax panic too. I think this applies to like business owners a lot, where it kind of gets to the end of the year and they realize that like they need to create more business deductions. And you could end up buying things that are deductible but aren't totally necessary and don't actually save you any money because you've just spent more money, even if you've technically saved on taxes a little bit.
Right.
I think just, buying unnecessary things just to deduct them, it doesn't make a bad purchase a good one. It just makes a bad purchase less expensive.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, there's an episode of The Office. It's like a Halloween episode where there's a gift they're having a costume contest. And whoever wins the costume contest gets this coupon book that advertises famously on the front, like over $15,000 in savings here. And everybody is just like going out, like they're just taken by this idea that they want this coupon book because they think it's basically worth $15,000. And Oscar is the only one that realizes you would have to buy $100,000 worth of useless junk to get this theoretical $15,000 in savings. So don't fall for that. Not saying that that's what business owners are that's stupid, but
Some might be.
Maybe.
Don't open up a Kalshi account and start betting.
A what account?
Kalshi.
Huh.
It's like Polymarket, those kind of.
Oh yeah.
Where you're betting on different scenarios, all speculative. Basically, the investors gambling these days.
Gotcha. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
So, what to do, what not to do, and some tax strategies. Kind of wrap things up. This is a little bit of a shorter episode because I feel like it's fairly straightforward, but we'll just kind of wrap things up with some kind of what we would give you a balanced framework for how to think through this. Again, just none of this is hard and fast. Use it as helpful as it is, but just as an example allocation, let's give 10% of it.
Yeah.
Let's try to save and invest 50 to 70% of it. And let's give 10 to 20% of it. And then let's make sure we are properly allocating taxes in there as well.
You mean enjoy 10 to 20%?
What did I say?
Give 10.
Give 10. So you're right. Yes.
Yeah. Give 10, save 50 to 70, enjoy 10 to 20, and make sure that you're doing it post-tax.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
I was just doing fingers. I don't think I counted my fingers correctly.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. The percentages actually don't actually matter all that much. It's just the most important thing is being intentional about it.
Yeah.
Don't let the money spend itself for you. Let's be in charge of this.
Don't only give 10 because we just said give 10.
Yeah. If you feel like 20 is a good number for you, do that.
Yeah.
If you feel like 50 is a good number for you, like if it's a huge bonus and you're just like, I could give 50% of this, and I wouldn't even notice it.
Perfectly healthy financial plan.
Or the RG Letourneau, I bring him up all the time because his is just so funny. He gives 90% of his income away, or he gave 90% of his income because he made so much that he could live off of 10% of it. If you're in that realm where you're making that much money, that 10% of your bonus is more than enough to keep you on track, then give 90% of it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You bring him up all the time, and my first thought is Joe Paterno.
Joe Pa.
Very different.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate that is, he was such a legend, and his career kind of ended in disgrace almost, but.
And their names are so similar.
True.
Every time you say RG Letourneau, he's the first person that pops into my head.
Interesting. Yeah. So these percentages are just a general framework, but apply it to your own life and figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
As
long as what works for you isn't enjoying 100% of it.
Correct. I think let's kind of, as we wrap up, we'll talk through, we've been using bonus for most of this conversation, but that's not the only windfall that can come into your life. That is maybe the most regular windfall that you would encounter.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to have an inheritance every year, but you might have a bonus every year.
Hopefully. That means you're grieving a lot.
But also, how did you have that many people that were giving you money at the end of their lives?
Yeah.
I suppose you could have like lots of aunts and uncles that didn't have kids and they want to give it to you. I don't know.
You read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People a lot, and you just became really good at it.
Dale Carnegie?
I think so.
Can't be throwing out book references without knowing who wrote them.
That's what you.
I think that
was my first thought, and then for whatever reason, I was like, wait, was it Carnegie or Rockefeller? But I think you're right.
I think it's Carnegie.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just briefly touch on the different categories. So we already touched on bonuses. So inheritances.
Yep.
I think this one's an interesting one because you could
inheritance.
An inheritance in the sense not necessarily financially all that different, except for the fact that you're dealing with money that came through a loved one. Presumably, it's not. It's probably not going to be a random stranger that's giving you an inheritance. Although another Adam Sandler movie, Mr. Deeds, great movie.
Good one.
He had this like great uncle that he didn't even know existed that he inherited like $1 billion some from.
I knew somebody whose parents inherited I'm not exactly sure how much. I think it was like around $1 million from some like third cousin he had never met.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it could happen, but it's probably not going to happen. So we're talking about a loved one. And I think there is an element of, I want to honor this person. Like obviously we want to honor God with everything, but you're also wanting to honor this person with this money that they've gifted you in their death. You don't want to squander that. I think that's another responsibility that like, I want to use this wisely and honor them because they didn't have to put me in their will. And yeah.
When you're talking psychology, I kind of feel like this one, people are naturally going to be a little bit more intentional with. Maybe, hopefully.
I can think of examples where people were not that way, but
yeah, me too.
But so I think it's an important thing to mention that an inheritance is a unique one and that it's not your bonus. It's not part of your compensation. This is a gift from a loved one that has passed away. So you're dealing with the grief of that. That could create some emotional decisions too, where you just like, I don't know, it as a way of coping with the grief. Maybe you spend more of it than you should be. Like there's a lot of unique factors at play here that I think require you to be more intentional.
Yeah.
More than any other windfall, I think.
Yep. Yeah, agreed.
What other windfalls come through? We talked about these a little bit.
Well, if you didn't set it up so that you're not overpaying taxes, you could end up getting a big tax refund in April.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Should you try to be getting the biggest tax return possible every April? Tax refund?
No. You should be trying to get it close to zero.
Why?
Because otherwise you're loaning the government money for nothing.
It's such an interesting fact, because it feels great to have a big tax return.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I wasn't expecting this, until you realize, well, I could have had this money this whole time. Now, if you're an overspender and you almost need that, like, it's almost like you're saving it, but you're saving it to the government.
And you could otherwise save it and make interest.
Right. But I'm saying there might be people that, let's assume that the next year they withhold less, they end up just spending it instead of actually saving it. So theoretically, if you need to be forced to save it, I suppose a big tax refund could be helpful for you. But again, if you're already doing that in your normal cash flow, you're probably going to spend that money too. So yeah, you should be trying to get close to zero as possible.
Yeah. If you need the discipline, set up an account that's harder to get to and funnel it all into that account.
Yeah. Like an offshore account or a money laundering situation. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Obviously, compliance officer.
Offshoring.
Yeah.
SEC's going to be knocking on our door tomorrow.
Sorry.
I had a nightmare about that.
Did you?
I did. I had a nightmare. We've got a new office now. I had a nightmare. We got it all set up, and then 4 guys in black suits walked in. I was like, oh no.
They like rappelled off the side of the building and burst through the windows. Yeah, I was joking. I like to make jokes. All right. Okay. What other windfalls? We got inheritances, tax refunds.
Oh man. You could get, well, 2 things. You could just get a decent amount of stock from your company, or you could have that stock and all of a sudden the price of the stock jumps high.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah, when you have stock compensation with your company, you'll end up being fairly concentrated in your overall portfolio because you'll be building up this account that's in your company. So you might want to just have a strategy for diversifying that over time. Not necessarily selling it always all at once, though that could be part of it. I think that's why talking to a financial advisor can help you think through that so that you're just not overly concentrated in one position.
Yeah.
And taking on that additional risk.
Yep.
What else?
Sell your business.
Yeah.
Typically, if you have a business that can be sold, it's probably going to be a decent amount.
Yeah.
Because there are usually 2 types of businesses: one that can be sold and one that just kind of closes its doors because it made you money while you were running it, but there's not really much to sell. So it could be one of 2.
Yeah. This can often be part of a retirement strategy too. If you have worked in this business your whole career and then you just plan on retiring and selling it, we see this a lot where that's kind of part of the retirement plan, which can be a little dicey in the planning aspect of it because there's no guarantee here that that's going to go through or that it's going to sell for as much as you think it's going to sell for. So that's something to be mindful of. Make sure you have good business valuation, that you're feeling accurate about that, and maybe don't plan on that being the entirety of your retirement plan. Let's also save outside of that so that you're not suddenly left at retirement with much less or nothing if the business can't sell or whatever, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Let's be building outside of that. But okay, what else?
If you, I don't know, for whatever reason, some kind of insurance or a legal settlement.
You get injured.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Again, somebody, your spouse passes away. Like, again, that's similar to the inheritance thing, but specifically you have a life insurance settlement that comes through from that.
If you're like Dalton, you're probably committing insurance fraud.
I am. No, I'm not. Some of these episodes, I think we should have an extra disclaimer with it that it's just like, we're just being funny today. Anyway, no, I'm not committing insurance fraud. Legal settlements for sure. I was trying to think.
Win the lottery.
You could win the lottery. True. Yeah, hit the jackpot.
We were talking to a guy who works for one of the faith-based investing mutual funds yesterday. He was like, I did tell my boss, I hope it's okay, but whenever the Powerball hits a certain number, I'm usually out there buying a couple tickets.
Oh boy. Yeah, so you could do that. We wouldn't recommend going for that. You're probably not going to win the lottery.
How much do they cost now?
I have no idea.
It's been a long time, but sometimes I used to, at least. It's been a long time since I bought a lottery ticket, but it can be cool to just like pay the little amount
and lose that money.
The thrill of watching. I feel like I do it, but then I forget to even watch like the numbers get pulled.
There's this great clip on YouTube of this Australian guy who won the lottery. And so they were like doing a news report on him, and they wanted him to like recreate what he did when he won the lottery. So he goes to the same gas station, he gets, it's like a scratch off ticket or whatever. And he goes and he scratches off, like they're just trying to recreate the scene just for the demonstration on the segment on the news. And he scratches it off to show like, this is what it was like the day that I won the lottery. And he scratches off and he goes, I just won again. I'm not joking. Like he's like losing his mind. Like he's almost like upset about it because he just like can't believe he's just coming into all this money, but he wins the lottery again.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the luckiest man on earth.
Follow that guy around.
I know. Go watch that clip. It's really funny.
But that's another example of, good example of the overall like mindset, because I think the majority of lottery winners like lose it all, or spend it all, or whatever.
They do. Yes. I think the whole point of this episode is to think wisely and intentionally about this money that comes in.
Yeah.
Don't let your emotions get the best of you. That's probably good advice in general, but certainly when it comes to money and large sums of money, or larger sums of money than you're probably used to in your normal day-to-day life, don't let that dictate how you use it.
Don't be Clark Griswold.
Definitely don't be Clark Griswold. It all worked out in the end because, in his case, because Cousin Eddie kidnaps his boss, ties him up, and delivers him to Clark. And that whole experience causes the boss to rethink this and gives him the bonus plus 20%, I think.
You got a good memory. I watch this every year. And
he goes, whatever you made last year, add 20%. I think it's 20%. Sounds right. So it's even more than I think Clark was expecting. So he probably was still able to do the pool, if I had to guess. I assume he finishes the pool, but don't do that. It just happened to work out for him because it was a movie.
Don't assume that kidnapping the boss is going to work out.
Yeah, I've done it before. Trust me. No, I haven't.
Didn't work out.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts before we wrap this up?
I'm out of thoughts.
You are. You typically are. This was a great episode.
I'm always out of thoughts.
We had fun. We made too many jokes that will get us in trouble. But honestly, I don't regret it. I'm going to double down and try to make more jokes next week.
If we're not back next week, it's because the suits showed up.
Yeah, we're in jail. It was worth it, if that's the case.
Good run.
Yeah. So we will either see you next week or we'll see you in 20 years. Thanks for listening. God bless.
God bless.
Investment advisory services offered through Stonecrop Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. This material is intended for informational purposes only.